lawyer could face sanctions
for citing fake court cases
and used AI to create
fictitious,
and make-believe case law
after using artificial intelligence.
But we can't find these cases anywhere.
Lately, more and more attorneys are getting sanctioned with fines and suspensions for submitting briefs filled with case law that looks legit. Names, citations, even quotes that turns out to be entirely made up. Like full-on legal fan fiction, worse than Law and Order or The Lincoln Lawyer. And the culprit? Generative AI. Dun dun. To really understand this, you need to know what case law is, why AI is so bad at it, and why does that matter for, well, all of us. Case law is essentially judge-made law. It's the result of real people filing real lawsuits in real courts through real judges making real decisions that set a real precedent. Notice a theme there? Lawyers and judges rely on these decisions to figure out what's legal, what's not, and how similar situations should be handled moving forward. Think of it as like a legal GPS. It's precedent that helps courts navigate consistency and fairness. So when an attorney says, according to Penoyer v. Neff, they're not just name-dropping for fun, they're using that case as authority to support an argument that advances their case. It's like citing Shakespeare in an English essay, except if you made up a quote like,
"To sue or not to sue, that is the deposition."
It might sound kind of cool, but you obviously didn't bother to even read the Spark Notes. This is where AI stumbles. Generative AI like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini doesn't actually know anything. It doesn't understand the law, it doesn't read casebooks, it certainly doesn't swear an oath to uphold the Constitution. It's just really, really good at guessing what sounds like a smart answer, especially one that would appear to support your point. If you ask it to draft a brief where you're defending against an allegation that your client failed to properly manage their vicious dog, and ask for information about dog bites and trespassing, it might serve you up something like, dog bites are only punishable in case of a significant injury. See Red Herring v. Scooby-Doo, 1994, complete with fake citations, fake judges, and fake reasoning. It sounds legit and it seems to help your case, but the opinion never existed and the case never happened. That's called a hallucination, which is a fancy AI term for completely made-up nonsense that still somehow sounds convincing. The problem is that we tend to think of generative AI as some sort of supercharged Google search that builds fact into a polished presentation. But these hallucinations aren't even bugs, they're intentional features. Generative AI tools are designed for fluency, not fact. Their job is to sound helpful, not necessarily be helpful. And that's a dangerous combination when we're talking about the law. Now, don't get me wrong. As a tool, generative AI can be helpful, especially in tweaking a presentation and structuring sentences. But it is terrible at conducting any sort of independent research. Real lawyers have already gotten in serious trouble for this. In the case of Mata v. Avianca, attorneys submitted 6 fake AI-generated citations with their brief. The judge sanctioned them $5,000 and made them notify both the court and their client. The judge said flatly, no competent attorney should outsource research to AI without checking. The worst part is, that wasn't a one-off, it's happening more often. Almost 100 documented cases just in the last 2 years. Judges are issuing fines in the tens of thousands of dollars in some cases. Some attorneys have even been referred to bar grievance committees. In one case, an attorney actually lost their license to practice law. This really matters if you're not a lawyer. For one, legal decisions affect real people. If a judge rules against you based on a fake precedent, that's not just embarrassing, it's unjust. And if your lawyer relies on hallucinated case law, you could lose your case, your money, or worse, your attorney's law license. But even more than that, real people are turning to ChatGPT every day to help them better understand legal issues. And in the end, users walk away feeling far more confident and like they have a solid grasp on the issue, but actually have less of a factual understanding of the issue than they did beforehand. Here's the bottom line. Case law is real, binding precedent, not something you can just invent with a prompt. AI is a great tool, but it is not your lawyer. Verification matters. A lot. And whether you're a litigator or just someone trying to figure out what's legal and what's AI fan fiction, remember, accuracy is what gives the law its power. Strip that away, and you're just making up rules without any authority to actually do so. I love that you're still here, because it hopefully probably means that you found value in this video. Check out this playlist right here, which has tons of other resources about AI and legal research. Let me know in the comments what experiences you may have had like this, or any questions you may still have. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more legal insight, because it's important that you remember, ignorance of the law is no excuse.